to this YouTube channel, and my fans and any other person that is interested in the construction industry. Allow me first take off my mask. We are in the period of COVID-19, so we have to keep on putting mask to safeguard others. It has been long since we last met in this channel. We are still around. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon to everyone, and good evening to everyone, because we are covering the whole world and we have got different times for different places. Members, today we are going to talk about how to prepare a site minute wherever you have a site meeting. Before we start on how to go about this, I would ask and request every one of you that you subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button to subscribe to this channel, so that wherever we are producing a video like this, the YouTube will automatically notify you of the same. So back to business. How do we prepare a site minute wherever we have a site meeting? One, you have to know that when you are doing this, who is supposed to prepare a site minute? In most cases, you'll realize that the meetings are chaired by the project manager or the project architect. The person who becomes the secretary of a site meeting is always the clerk of works, project clerk of works. I've said it is the architect or the project manager who chairs site meeting, and the person who takes minutes is the project clerk of works, usually known as C.o.W. Let us now start. When you are doing this, first, you have to indicate the title of the project. After that, you'll have to indicate that you are preparing either minutes of the first meeting or minutes of the second meeting, etc. So in this case, let us assume that we are preparing a minute for a second meeting. Just an example. Once you've indicated that, I've said you indicate the project title. For example, a proposed construction of residential development in such a place, full stop. Then you have now to indicate the date at which the meeting was held and even the time. For example, preparation of proposed residential development at New York, Nairobi, held on 8th of August 2022-2021 in the site office or in the site boardroom at 2 a.m., 2 p.m., like that. Then you now proceed to attendance. At attendance, you now indicate members who have attended that meeting. You start with the person chairing the meeting. For example, architect John Kevin, an hyphen, then you put project architect, stroke project manager. Then you move to number 2, quantity surveyor. Quantity surveyor Alfred Njoroge. You indicate an hyphen, then quantity surveyor, the title. You move to number 3, either engineer, blah, 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 hyphen, structural engineer. You follow that procedure. You list all the members who have attended with their titles. After that, now you indicate members who are absent with apology. List their names and their titles. Once you are done with that, we move to agenda of the meeting. Indicate the agenda of that specific meeting. For example, usually we start with preliminaries as number 1. We go to apologies. We go to number 3, adoption of agenda. We move to number 4, declaration of conflict of interest. Then we move to number 5, chairman's welcome or welcoming remarks. Then we move to number 7, matters arising from minutes of the previous meeting, if there was a previous meeting. Then number 8, we move now to project reporting. Very important. Under the project reporting, we start with main contractors report. Part B, under the project reporting, is the clerk of works report. Number C, under the same, is now the structural engineer's report. Number D is the quantity surveyor's report. E is the architect's report. Then finally, the client report. If there is somebody apart from clerk of works who is also attending that meeting on behalf of the client. Remember, clerk of works is usually the representative of a client on a site. But maybe in case of a meeting, somebody might come also to attend the meeting. So when that person is there, maybe he or she is sent by the client, will get the report. And even if they are not sent, remember, clerk of works usually report to client on daily basis, weekly basis, and monthly basis. So in between the meeting, there must be several reports that are submitted by the C.o.W, that is clerk of works, to the client. So when a meeting is held, client will have to send somebody to come and now give their report based on the reports that they have got from the clerk of works or architect. After that, we move to number 9. In number 9, usually we do put maybe information security matters. We call them ISO matters. Then we move to number 10, integrity matters. Then after number 10, now we go to number 11, AOB. Any matter arising, sorry for that, AOB. Any other business that might come up. Then lastly, we move to adjournment of that meeting. So allow me now take you through on how to go as per the subheadings and the headings you have given up there. 1, when we start with the now deliberation, you can do quorum and rows. whereby you indicate minutes, then in between you do deliberations, and now action by. You just draw a table, minutes, deliberation, and action by. Let us start with minute number 1. After minute number 1, you do the date on which that meeting was held, month, and the year. Preliminaries. Under the preliminaries, once you've underlined vizuri, well, sorry for that word vizuri, that's a Swahili word, you indicate the meeting was called to order at 3 or 4 or 2 p.m. or a.m. Remember, we had used 2 a.m. or p.m. as an example. B. Opening prayers was offered by either QS Maina Njoroge, John Kinywa. Those ones are just information. You indicate under the action information, or you can go into detail by indicating the person who prayed under action, that column, that row of action. That is done that way. We move to the other part. Minute number 2. Date, month, and the year. Adoption of agenda. Adoption of agenda, preliminaries, all those ones comes under deliberation, under that row of deliberation. The agenda of the meeting was adopted without amendments. The agenda of meeting was adopted with amendments. It will depend on how your meeting is organized. On action, you put information, or in short, info. We move to minute number 3. Under minute number 3, you indicate the date, month, year, declaration of conflict of interest. If there was conflict of interest, you indicate, and the person who was conflicted. If there wasn't, you just indicate there was no conflict of interest declared. That one is information. You just indicate info on under action. We move to minute 5. Reading and confirmation of previous minutes. If there were a meeting that was held previously. Remember that minute 5, date indicated below. That is an information. Now, under this, you will indicate minutes of the first meeting held on 12th July 2021-2022 were read, proposed by Engineer Michael and seconded by Architect Maina, or seconded by Clerk of Works John. Then we move to minute 6, indicate the date, month, etc. Under deliberation is now matters arising from the previous meeting. Now you indicate the matters that arose. For example, tests for aggregates and cubes were received. 2. Main contractor provided details for the CV, curriculum vitae or vita, for his site agent, general foreman, and other technical teams. Main contractor provided program of works. You indicate such like on that. Those are information you indicate under the action. Then we now move to minute number 7, project reporting. Main contractor's report. The main contractor report, the main contractor must start by giving us the percentage of work achieved against percentage of time elapsed. Then from there, the main contractor will now give us his report, what he has experienced, anything pertaining to his report under there. Once we are done with the main contractor's report, still under reporting, we move to part B, Clerk of Works report. Clerk of Works will also tell us the progress of work against timeline in percentages, it will now give us his report there. We indicate very well there. We move to structural engineer's report. The engineer will give us the report. We list there. We move to quantity surveyor report. The quantity surveyor will give us the report, whether it's measurement done, whether it's measurements, whether there are variations, whether the main contractor has applied for some evaluations, whether, he gives us all those there. Then we move to architect's report. The architects will now give us is also reports under that point there. Whether the contractor is doing good work, good workmanship, materials delivered or of good quality, all those we list there. Then we move to the last part of reporting, client's report. Remember, clients is the most highly ranked person or entity in a project. So it comes to sum it up after all shall have talked. So we'll list the report for the client there. We move to minute 8, ISO matters. For example, the main contractor was notified that the institution is ISO certified and should maintain high information confidentiality on matters concerning the project. We list there. Minute number 9, we move to integrity matters. For example, the main contractor to ensure that integrity is highly observed and maintained in all undertakings. That is very key, because once the integrity is compromised, then even the quality of work that is yet to be delivered is going to be compromised. That is very key, and there we have to do it. After which we move to any other matter arising or any other business arising, that is AOB. If there is an AOB, we indicate. If there isn't, no other business was reported, and we move. Minute 11, adjournment. For example, there being no any other business, the meeting ended at 6 p.m. in the evening, etc. Then there must be somebody closing with a prayer. So closing prayers was offered by Mr. or engineer or QS, etc. We indicate the person who prayed for us. Then we do this. We now create another area there where we have got area for chairman that he will use to sign for that minute and indicate a date at which he signs. Then confirmation, we indicate confirmed by the name, sign and date. Then the person who did second, we indicate seconded by, sign and date. So that's how we prepare a site minute for any site meeting. It's as simple as such. I'm sorry that I have not illustrated this, but we'll do this going forward. But for now, we'll have it in that form, and I'm sure that if you keep watching this video and have your pen and a notebook, you are not going to go wrong. But in due course, we'll have proper presentation with illustrations so that our members, our followers, and technical guys coming from campus or colleges, universities, etc. are guided accordingly on how to handle these technical issues or matters on a construction site. Members, that is it for today. I wish you a very good day, good night, or a good time till we meet again on this channel. And as we plan to exit for another day, I remind you to subscribe if you are not, and share also with your friends so that we get as many views as possible. Remember, without views, we can't move. Thank you very much, and let's meet again any other time.